Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Sires, and today we are making a tier list for the best and worst Pokemon in Pokemon Unite. Now, we have an additional feature in this tier list. We have S+, and that's actually for the greatest Pokemon, the best Pokemon that you could possibly play. Like, if you get the chance to play it, you should play this Pokemon. So let's go in order with the Pokemon that we have here. Just a disclaimer, we also will be making this tier list not based on your opinion. This is my opinion, so if you do not agree, that's fine. Not everyone's tier list is going to be the same. I'm master rank in Pokemon Unite. I did not grind to master based on having teams, but I solo grind. I played a few games with teams, but not much. I grinded mainly solo. So this is a solo master experience tier list, and I just hope this helps you. Now this will be for the average players. Like, let's say for example, somebody could pick up a Pokemon that might normally be not good at all, but because they play that Pokemon alone, they might be able to make that Pokemon feel like an S tier Pokemon. This is for the average person who is probably now going to begin playing the game. This video is for them, and it's based on the average capability of the average player. So without further ado, let's get into it. Venusaur. Venusaur used to be D tier. Honestly, used to be D tier. Because of the buffs, it's C tier now. Venusaur still, compared to the other attackers, not really good. It honestly isn't good. If I see a Venusaur on my team, I know that we have a person that is using an attacker that is not the best in its category. Gengar. Gengar got some nerfs. Gengar used to be S++. He's still good. He's S+. So he's not S++, plus anymore. He's S+. Now people think he might not be as good, but the only thing that you have to know is that once you land your Sludge Bomb, you just keep on hexing. That's basically it. So that's all you have to know on Gengar. It's a very safe Pokemon, and your ult makes him even safer. So this is an S tier Pokemon, but S+ tier. Okay, so coming up next we have Mr. Mime. Now this is one of the Pokemon that if you can play him really good, like this is the only thing you play, he has the potential to be A or S. But for the average person now picking him up, he's C. You have to know how to play Mr. Mime. If you don't, you are going to get wrecked. Now it's different from Venusaur. Venusaur just literally lacks damage. So I'd put Mr. Mime a little ahead of Venusaur. But the average player, Mr. Mime is C. Let's look at Snorlax. Now Snorlax is a defender. Now all the defenders right now in Pokemon Unite are really good. There is not a bad defender at this current time. Snorlax is a A tier Pokemon, and even with the nerfs that Snorlax has gotten in the past few patches, Snorlax still dominates. Now Snorlax used to be S tier pre-patch, like before any patch, but now he's A tier, and I think that he's in a good position where he's not too strong and he's not too weak. Gardevoir. Now Gardevoir is one of my favorite attackers in the game, favorite Pokemon in the game, and because I use Gardevoir a lot, I may have bias to put her in the S tier. But if we are looking at the average person's capability, you have to put her in B tier. Let me explain why. Now, Gardevoir is very squishy. She has one of the weakest early games in the entire game, and Pokemon Unite is very dependent on levels and getting those levels ahead of your opponents. So she does not do that well. But once you survive the lane and you get to level 6 and you could take Psyshock, you will be able to dominate on her. But you also still need to know how to land the Psyshock. She's not an easy Pokemon to play, and it's a very high risk Pokemon, especially because of that early game which I mentioned before. So for the average player, B tier. Absol. Now people think that Absol is not good, and I have no idea where that idea came from. I've watched a few persons tier lists, and I've watched a few persons talking about Absol, but Absol is one of the easiest Pokemon to use in the entire game. Low risk, high damage. Absol is in the A tier. Absol has one of the highest damage outputs possible in the game. So he's also very safe. He's a speedster, and a lot of speedsters are used in the jungle. And because he's used in the jungle, he gets those early levels very quickly, and he just needs to gank. He is squishy, but remember, you're not laning with him, you're jungling with him. And once you're jungling with Absol, you're going to be safe for the majority of the game. Garchomp. Garchomp is a beast. Garchomp has the ability to solo objectives better than probably anybody in the entire game. That's early objectives as well, like Rotom, Dreadnought, and I mean, he has no problem soloing Zapdos. Garchomp also has an ultimate that does incredible damage, and I mean, like, he's just super good. He has a lot of gap closers, and he does a lot of damage. So I'm definitely putting him in the S tier. Next up, we have Lucario. Lucario is a really strong laner. He does a lot of damage early, and he is very mobile because of his abilities. He is also in the A tier. Now we have Crustle up next. As I said, the defenders in this game, they are all very well balanced. They are the most balanced Pokemons in terms of the categories of Pokemons, like attackers, speedsters, supporters. The defenders are the most balanced in the game right now. They are really good, and Crustle is my favorite Pokemon. Crustle is an A tier Pokemon. I almost said S tier because I mean, I mean Crustle, you know, you want to put your favorite Pokemon in the S tier, but he is A tier for the average Pokemon, for the average person, sorry. Next up, we have Greninja. Greninja is an A tier attacker. Some people think that he is S tier. There are lots of people who personally like Greninja, but there are Pokemon that are better than him, and we will see who they are in a moment. Now we move on to Talonflame. Talonflame, now this is another controversial Pokemon where people will tell you he's not that good. But Talonflame is in the S tier. Talonflame is an S tier Pokemon. Based on the abilities he has, and plus with the recent buffs that he has gotten, he does incredible damage. And the damage he does is in such a way that he is basically invulnerable for the moments of his attacking animation. Because he has two abilities where he either flies or brave birds. And even worse yet for fly, he's literally untargetable when he's up in the air and fly. And when you land down, you can activate another ability super quickly. And that will either one-shot the opponent, or that will leave them with some health remaining. The reason why he is not an S plus tier is because when those skills are on cooldown, and if he doesn't one-shot you, he still has room for outplay. You could still do something against him in those scenarios. I mean, in the case of Gengar, if Gengar hits you with Sludge Bomb and you don't have Flash, you're literally dead 100% of the time. So this is why he is an S tier and not S plus tier. Now, some people might say, no, he's not as good, but don't listen to them. Try him out for yourself. He's definitely a Pokemon that, if you like Talonflame in Pokemon and you just find he's a cool Pokemon, definitely pick him up. Now we move on to Charizard. Charizard used to be a B tier Pokemon, but because of the recent buffs that he got, I will argue he is an A tier Pokemon. Charizard has one of the best ultimates in the entire game, and it's just for that fact alone that it makes him so much stronger. And even when he was as a B tier Pokemon, when he ultimates, he just goes from a B tier to an S tier. But because of the buffs to his normal abilities, that literally pushes him up to A tier. I mean, he's only like a serious, like really bad threat when he ultimates, but for the majority of the game, he is an A tier Pokemon. Let's move on to Zeraora. Zeraora is also an A tier Pokemon. The reason why I would not have him in S tier is because there are just some Pokemon that they're just better than him. Like Talonflame right now, better. Gengar is better, and they're both in the speedster categories. Now, when you attack with Zeraora, I mean, he's super strong, but you literally still could get hit. Because of the untargetable states of Gengar and Talonflame, that's why they are in tiers above him. He's still a really good Pokemon, just in my opinion, not strong enough to put in the S tier right now. We move on to Cinderace. Cinderace, we have our next S plus tier Pokemon. Cinderace is a must-have in every single game. That is your ADC if you're custom playing MOBA games like League of Legends, for example, or Dota, whatever other MOBA games you might have played. He is the traditional ADC, but he is actually, I mean, Cinderace is a threat, and you need to have one on your team in every game. If you do not see a Cinderace on your team, forget what you were going to play before, pick Cinderace. Always have Cinderace as a backup. You need Cinderace. Late game, for those team fights, for those objectives, Cinderace is probably the best late game Pokemon. You have the best potential to 1v5, 1v4. Super good. Then we move on to Eldegoss. Eldegoss is an S tier support. Eldegoss at the start of Pokémon Unite would have also been in the S plus tier. But because of the nerfs, I mean, even with the nerfs, it just drops down to S tier, which is still pretty good. You have heals, you have mobility, you have disruption. I mean, what else could you want on a support? As a support, playing Eldegoss, you can beat other Pokemon that are meant for damage if you 1v1 them. That's how crazy Eldegoss is. Then we move into Cramorant. I mean, the Pokemon design for Cramorant, it's literally a Kobo. It's literally a Vulture. But this Kobo does a lot of damage. I would put it in the A tier normally, but here's why I'm putting it in the B tier. For the average player, it's a very skill-based, reliant champion. Well, not champion, but Pokemon. And yes, everybody uses skills. But when you use your skills on Cramorant, that's the only thing you have, basically. And if you don't land it, you're done. You do super damage. Like, you do a lot of damage with Cramorant. I mean, his ultimate is the strongest ultimate in the entire game. I mean, you can't argue with the numbers. But besides the ultimate, I mean, you still could get damaged. And even though you can't get CC'd, you'll still get blown up instantly once people see your ult. And they could just kill you, or they could just walk away from the ult. And as I mentioned before, if you miss your abilities, you're useless. And for the average player, you're not really going to be hitting all your abilities. It's kind of in the same category of Gardevoir with a risk. Except Cramorant is probably a little better because the early game is more manageable than Gardevoir. Early game, he still does a lot of damage. It's just super, I mean, skill-based, reliant. It's not an easy Pokemon to play. Now we look at Blastoise. Now Blastoise has been getting a lot of love. Still in the A tier for me. He's still not S tier worthy or S plus worthy. A lot of people, like, they have him up really high as the best Pokemon. Some people have him as the best, and that's kind of ridiculous. He's not that good, to be honest. He is A tier though. All the defenders are really good. Then we have Pikachu. Pikachu is one of the safest attackers in the game. Really good early game, mid game. Doesn't do as much late game, but you have slows, you could stun, damage. Pikachu does it all. And Pikachu is a good Pokemon to pick up if you're new to the game. Actually, one of the Pokemon that I would recommend, like if you do not know which Pokemon to buy, Pikachu is a good starter Pokemon for you to get used to the game. Ninetales. Now, a lot of people are going to get angry with me. A lot of master tier Pokemon, a lot of YouTubers will get angry because I'm gonna put Ninetales in the B tier. How could you put Ninetales in the B tier? Ninetales is such a good Pokemon. Now, Ninetales has really good CC. And the thing is, it just doesn't do that much damage. And I mean, you could argue to put Ninetales in E tier, but it really is based on the skill of the person. And the average person that will pick up Ninetales, I mean, is a B tier for the average person, to be honest. I mean, like, I know people are going to be upset, but this is my opinion, and this is just where I believe that Ninetales should be. Now, Ninetales, great for CC, but as an attacker, she feels kind of as a support because of the CC, and there are supports that do their job better as a support than Ninetales would do as a support because she's an attacker. So if you play Ninetales a lot, yeah, you could make an A tier Pokemon, but I don't care what you say. In my opinion, right now as it stands with the damage that Ninetales has, it will not surpass a A tier. And because it's the average person, this is a B tier Pokemon. Now we have Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is also in the B tier. Wigglytuff is not bad, but Wigglytuff is not good. Now you're seeing the green color. I don't know how come this Tailus has it as a green color. Wigglytuff is not a defender. Wigglytuff is a supporter, so it should be in yellow, but that's fine. Wigglytuff has some great abilities. It has the Sing, it has Rollout, it has all these other good moves, but compared to the other ultimates of other Pokemon as a support, it's not really that good compared to the others. The other abilities are decent, but as a support, they are just better supports. So Wigglytuff is in the B tier. Now we have Slowbro. Now out of all the defenders, Slowbro is the easiest one to use and the easiest one to pick up. The easiest one to do CC with. I mean, Surf, the CC is great. The ultimate for the lockdown, just that alone, you could put it in the S tier. So right now, Slowbro is in the S tier. And let me tell you this. Even though Slowbro is in the S tier, I would prefer using Crustle. Crustle is a more aggressive defender. Now, this will determine based on your playstyle. So not because a Pokemon is in a higher tier means that you automatically should buy that Pokemon over the other. You have to know how the Pokemon functions and which will suit your playstyle the best. So to me, Crustle, even though yes, I would say Slowbro is an S tier and Crustle is an A tier, I would prefer using Crustle based on my playstyle, and I will get more personally out of using Crustle than using Slowbro. Now we have Machamp. Machamp is in the S tier. Machamp has been in a really good position since the beginning of Pokémon Unite, and that has not changed for a moment. Let me tell you this. Machamp is disgusting. The ultimate is disgusting. The CC is disgusting. The fact that you are invulnerable to CC because of abilities that you have, and you could just attack for free without being stopped, you are dangerous. I mean, like, you are something to really be afraid of. Now, the last Pokemon, yes, the last Pokemon, because we don't have Clefairy in the game as yet. We have Blissey though, and Blissey is A tier. Now, remember when I was telling you that I would prefer Crustle than Slowbro, even though Slowbro is S tier and Crustle is A tier? That is the same for Eldegoss and Blissey. Eldegoss and Blissey are the two best supporters in the game right now. Blissey, in my opinion, is better if you are more skilled. It has a higher skill cap than Eldegoss, and you have more freedom in terms of what kind of support you want to be. Eldegoss is generally easier, and if I have to recommend somebody to who wants to play support and they want to buy a support, I would recommend that they buy Eldegoss first, and then they could probably try something like Blissey. But Blissey is really good, and you don't want to sleep on Blissey. Blissey probably has the high healing potential in the game because of the soft boil eggs, and the other abilities are really good too. But that soft boil egg, it's pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty. Okay, so the last thing that we are going to do, we are going to put the Pokemon in the order of strongest to weakest in the entire game. So let's start off. Gengar, in my opinion, is the strongest still in the entire game, then Cinderace. Then we have Machamp. Then we have Garchomp. Then Talonflame. Then Eldegoss. Then Slowbro. Then we have Lucario. We have Absol. Absol does not want to move across. Then we have Greninja. Then we have Crustle. Then we have Zeraora. Then we have Blastoise. Then we have Snorlax. Then we have Pikachu. Then we have Charizard. Then we have Blissey. Actually, let's put Blissey before Charizard. So we have Blissey first and then Charizard. Okay, now we're going on to the B tier. The B tier, we have Gardevoir. We have Cramorant. We have Ninetales, and then we have Wigglytuff. And then we have Mr. Mime, and lastly we have Venusaur. So guys, that's it for the tier list of Pokemon and Pokemon Unite. I'll also be doing a video for each Pokemon in its category. So I'll be doing the strongest to the weakest, speedsters in their own correct category. We'll have a tier list for supporters and so forth and so forth. And the reason why I'll be doing a video for that is so that I can further break down each Pokemon in their each individual bracket and the role that they are supposed to play in the game. So if you want to see that and if you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comment section below. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. Make sure all notifications are turned on. Guys, we have a countdown going on right now for the mobile release of Pokemon Unite. Come over. Whether you're on Nintendo Switch, whether you are on your phone, whether it be Apple, Android, no matter what you are on, come down to the countdown. We are going to be playing games together because it is cross-platform. So don't miss out on that countdown live stream. And 3 AM in the morning, well, according to what time zone that you are at, I mean, you will see the countdown for yourself and the hours remaining. We'll be playing a lot of games together, guys. And of course, if you liked the video, smash that like button. And of course, you know who it is. It's your boy Sires and Crocky. Until next time, peace out.